Hello and welcome, this is Peggy. Today I'm starting a new series, how to make an album. It could be a scrapbook or a photo album, or in my case what I made is an album to collect technique ideas, so craft technique ideas. And I started in putting in some embossing ideas that I have. This is for me as well as for my customers. So if they want to look up something, they could just flip through the book, and there are some directions as well. So I started to put in some of my ideas, but in general the book is nearly empty. So I really basically just started. I put in design paper as well as some paper where I can write some information. I always kept some clear spaces like that as well. I've got some flaps in here, flaps to open towards the top, as well as flaps to open, where do I have one? To the side here, this one for example. And that's what we're going to do in this video. I will show you how to make the pages for the album. What we need is A4 paper, and it's actually pretty simple. We need to score, and we have to do one cut, and then we have to score. So first of all, we put it in the trimmer lengthwise, so with the long side at the top, and the middle of the A4 paper is 14.9. That's where I align my paper to, and I bring my cutting blade to the measurement 10.5 centimeters. I'm really sorry, I do all my stuff in centimeters. If it's too complicated for you, you can write me an email and I will send you the measurements in inches, as good as possible at least, because my trimmer here has inches and centimeters, so I can find the measurements in inches for you as well. Okay, so yeah, I aligned it here, 14.9, put the cutting plate at 10.5 and cut. Let's cut towards the bottom. So then I've got my scoring blade. I keep the same measurement and score the other half of the paper. So now we've got a part that's cut and a part that's scored. Now we put the shorter side towards the top, and we put it there to the 10.5 centimeter measurement, which is half of A4. And we just score. Yeah. So I hope you can see that. Scored in half plus a cut in that side. So that's actually pretty all that we need the trimmer for. Now I will fold it. In the paper you have little valleys, yeah, and little hills. I always try to fold my paper towards the hills. So I have to make sure it's quite exact. So I'm looking at my line here, and then I score my fold line. So this is what I did. Yeah, this is the closed side, and I scored it. I folded it. Now I fold one flap to the side again. I'm looking if everything is correct, and then I'm going over it with my bone folder, turning it over. I've got one more flap, and that goes to that side. So again I'm looking if everything is correct, and then I'm using my bone folder to fold it. So I'm just going to show you again in case you're a little puzzled with it all. See? So A4 paper, folded in half, folded and folded, yeah, to both sides basically. So what we then have is like a little booklet. 1 page, 2 pages, 3 pages. This is still open. We have to seal it now. This will be our pocket for these little pocket slider cards that I've got in there. These are of course optional, but it's a good way since we've got this page anyway, and if we don't seal it up, it will be just open and floppy. So what I like to do is I open it and I put double-sided adhesive at the very side, and I will not come to this end. I will show you. I'll just put my double-sided adhesive nearly to the end. The reason for that is when the pages will be bound in my book, I have to put a little my binding basically in here, a little part of my binding that is approximately 6-7 millimeters that has to enter here, and therefore I'll leave a little space to be able to push it in there. But you will see that in the video when I'm talking about binding the pages. So I'll just take the adhesive off, flip it closed, and there we are. Look, 1 page. This is the pocket page if you like to have it, and the 3rd page. So that's what I did with all my pages. I prepared them. Let me quickly find them. So yeah, these are all my pages. In this album I'm using 7 of these A4 pages. So there we are. Now I aligned them all. So here we go. Yeah, so I can flip them all basically this way. That's what you want to do now. You have to, once you cut and scored and fold it and glued your pages, you put them all in the right direction. Yeah, so that you can flip through it like a book, of course. That's what I have now. And so now what I prepared is some flaps. I've shown you in here already. Some of these pages have flaps, look, like this one. Some go sideways, some go up here like that to the top. You could actually do them also down, so there are many possibilities. That's just my way of doing it. I prepared 4 pages to flip sideways and 4 pages to flip to the top. The measurements are 10.5 centimeters by 14.9 centimeters plus 7 centimeters for this little fold. What's that? Yeah, that's my glue. I don't know the name. Anyway, you know that, I'm sure. I forgot. So where I glue it to. So the main flap is 14.9 by 10.5, and remember you need a little glue flap somewhere, either at the top or at the side, although the side flaps, which I have scored here, yeah, that side, you could also, not this side, that side, it really doesn't matter. The measurements are 10 by 14.9. 10 only because I decided that if I want to flip my pages, I didn't want to have something in the way here, so I made it just a little shorter. And as well, you need that 7 or 8 millimeter glue part there. So that's basically it. The measurements of what I do now is I put my adhesive, the 6 millimeter adhesive tape on all these glue flaps. I don't know what they're called. I watch so many YouTube videos, it's so stupid that now I really don't know what they're called. Awful. Anyway, so that's what I'll do now. I'll stop the video and then I'll be back when I've glued them all and I'll show you how to glue them in on the pages. So here I am. I've got them all covered in glue tape, and I will just start putting them now in my little still loose book basically. So I decide maybe not right at the front page. Why not here? Perhaps I'll put one there. So that's basically really up to everyone who makes the album where to fold them actually. No matter, it can still be done. So let's put the other pages out of the way. So I'm aligning this fold line here with my page side to keep it straight and even with the page. In my case this is a little longer, but it's no problem, I can just trim it off. And then, because I forgot to fold it properly, I will do that. And maybe that's what I should do before I get my next. So this is the one. Here's the flap. This is my main little page book. Let's go. Each is like a booklet basically. So then I suppose why did I do that again? See, sometimes crafters can be so silly. I just said I have to fold it first, and then again I just took off the backing of the tape. So fold it first, take off the backing, that's the way. And then I align it here at the top. So you can see, yeah. And there we have the next flap. Don't worry about this because we'll put design paper on top of that, so that doesn't really matter. So again I will fold first, then take off the backing. If there's any adhesive that's longer than your paper, you can just flip it over. I hope you know that. So, and then I will again line it up and stick it down. That's this one. So then our book goes further on. In the center there are always these pockets, so I'm not going to do anything there. This time I'll put one side flap on that page. So I'll fold it. So. Take the backing off. And align it to the page as good as I can, basically, you know, it's sometimes not so easy. But I think that's, yeah. Also this is a little longer, so, but it doesn't really matter because I have got my guide here, my page, and I can just trim along with the scissors, so that's pretty easy. Okay, now this one maybe not. This one is the pocket, so maybe not, maybe here. So in my case I'm deciding spontaneous where to put which kind of flap. But in your case you can also make a plan where you want to have it when the book is finished. So, flap. Oopsie, yeah, it's also a little longer. I have to cut these in a minute before we go on with the next video. I haven't got so many now. I want to do these top flaps again. So I'm going to fold them over. I really like the look if I have two next to each other when I open the book. So I will put one here, and I will put one here on this one. So then there's only one left, so I'll put that there, I suppose. That was one too. So there we go. Be careful with the sticky tape, because once you stick it, it is there. It's stuck basically. So that's all. We've got all the pages. It's important to keep them in the order that you want them to be. And here are just basically the places where we have to bind our pages into the book. So that will be in the next video. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to write an email. See you in the next video. Bye bye.